Cells could not exist without phospholipids because they make up cell membranes. Their structure provides a classic example of how form and shape fit function at the molecular level. Phospholipids is similar to a fat molecule but has only two fatty acids attached to glycerol rather than three. The third hydroxyl group of glycerol is joined to a phosphate group which has a negative electrical charge. Additional small molecules, which are usually charged or polar, can be linked to the phosphate group to form a variety of phospholipids. The fatty acids end of phospholipids show different behavior toward the water. The hydrocarbon tails are hydrophobic and are excluded from water. However, the phosphate group and its attachments form a hydrophilic head that has an affinity for water. When phospholipids are added to water, they self-assemble into double-layered aggregates bilayers that shield their hydrophobic portions from water. At the surface of a cell, phospholipids are arranged in a similar bilayer. The hydrophilic heads of the molecules are on the outside of the bilayer in contact with the aqueous solutions inside and outside of the cell. The hydrophobic tails pointing toward the interior of the bilayer away from the water. The phospholipids bilayer forms a boundary between the cell and its external environment. In fact, cells could not exist without phospholipids as they regulate the material exchange between the cell and its environment. Phospholipids are responsible for the dynamic nature of the plasma membrane. If a drop of phospholipids is placed in water, it spontaneously forms a structure known as a micelle, where the hydrophilic phosphate heads face the outside and the fatty acids face the interior of this structure. In biological membranes, the phospholipids often occur with molecules such as proteins, glycolipids, steroids in a cell membrane. Lipid bilayer occur when hydrophobic tails line up against one another, forming a membrane of hydrophilic heads on both sides facing the water. These specific properties allow phospholipids to play an important role in the cell membrane. Their movement can be described by the fluid mosaic model. The fluid mosaic model of the cell membrane is how scientists describe what the cell membrane looks and functions like, because it is made up of a bunch of different molecules that are distributed across the membrane. If you were to zoom in on the cell membrane, you would see a pattern of different types of molecules put together. It may seem like the human body is made up of a chaotic mix of random parts, but that's not the case. The liquid, nutrients, cell machinery, and genetic information that make up the human body are tucked away inside individual cells surrounded by a double layer of lipids. The purpose of the cell membrane is to hold the different components of the cell together and to protect it from the environment outside the cell. The cell membrane also regulates what enters and exits the cell so that it does not lose too many nutrients or take in too many ions. It also does a pretty good job of keeping harmful things out. Waxes are a diverse class of organic compounds that are lipophilic, malleable, solid near ambient temperatures. Waxes are made up of long fatty acid chains and long chain alcohols. The alcohol may contain from 12 to 32 carbon atoms. Waxes are valuable to both plants and animals because of their extreme hydrophobic nature. This makes them water resistant, which prevents water from sticking on feather and fur surfaces. Wax covers the feather of some aquatic birds and the leaf surfaces of some plants. Because of the hydrophobic nature of the waxes, they prevent water from sticking on the surface. Waxes are found in nature as coatings on leaves and stems. The wax prevents the plant from losing excessive amounts of water, preventing leaves from drying up. The best known animal wax is bee wax, used in constructing the honeycombs of honeybees. Thanks for watching.